Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I titled this talk today Raw Vegan Real Talk because I had a few different ideas and topics rolling around in the old noggin, and none of them were like, I don't know, I couldn't think of any other title or any one specific one of those little nuggets that I wanted to focus on specifically. So I just kind of decided to roll it all into a Raw Vegan Real Talk, a real Raw Vegan Talk. Anyhow, I do videos like this every day, so if you would, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can come back and watch more videos. And when you hit the subscribe button, click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. Having a very productive day here on the mountain. Actually I got up a little bit late for me, and but then just hit the ground running, been getting things done. Now I'm gonna shoot one more video and then go hang out with my guest a little bit because she's not gonna be here that much longer, and I'm gonna miss having somebody to talk to that's like-minded. That's the biggest thing. I told her last night, I hope I haven't overwhelmed her too much, because I said, I don't have much conversation. I haven't had much conversation the last 6 or 8 months. So anybody that would have come that was halfway nice, I'd have probably been all over them talking because of that. But when you put a raw vegan here with me, it's even more so. But anyhow, one of the first things I was going to talk about on this lifestyle, and I'll tell you some different thoughts I'm having on this. And I'm talking about stress. You got to find a way to listen, you got to take the anxiety out of this. Whatever you're going to do, how raw you're going to be, whatever, you've got to kind of structure this thing and figure out how to do it, make a plan, structure it for yourself, figure out your process where you're just not like spinning out of control all the time. I just see too many people that seem like they're in a constant state of anxiety and stressing over the lifestyle, stressing because they're not good enough on the lifestyle, or that they're eating things that they don't want to eat. Sometimes they're eating things they don't want to eat that are legitimate. Sometimes they're just being a little too extreme, being a little too hard on themselves. But that's neither here nor there. The whys, the whats, the wherefores, that has nothing to do with it. Stress is bad. It makes absolutely zero sense to be trying to do this extremely clean way of eating and focusing on it all the time and putting all your thought, time, and effort into it for the purpose of being healthy, when you're stressing about it all the time. And I see so many people doing that because, quite frankly, stress, they've shown, I can't cite any studies, you can go look around, but I think most people agree that stress is worse on the body generally than smoking, drinking, bad food. Stress just does a lot of bad stuff to you. Now, I'm not saying if you're stress-free or super zen, you should go out and smoke cigarettes and drink and eat bad food. But the stress is a really important one. So, try to figure out how to do this lifestyle, whether it's you've got to change your method so you will be more successful at this lifestyle, or you've just got to be a little bit more gentle with yourself in that capacity and ease up on yourself and don't have such high expectations. Or I wouldn't say not have high expectations, but just don't be so hard on yourself when you don't always reach up to those expectations. Just solve the problem. Don't be so emotional about it. Instead of getting all upset, just figure out why you didn't do whatever it was you wanted to. I've been talking about meditation within videos a good bit lately, and it's really exciting to me. Like I say, I retooled my meditation practice about a month ago, and it's just kind of overflowing into different areas in my life, and I'm taking this new way of doing things to kind of apply to different parts of life. And, I talked like the other day about, and one of the biggest ways it's popping up is in the form of letting go and observing things without judgment. That's been a big part of this practice. Just, each day has kind of a different focus that I'm doing, but a lot of the overall theme has been about letting things go. And the huge theme, maybe the biggest thing that I have taken from this, just, like I said, since I've made some changes, is about observing things without judgment. You can get things done. I just can't stress enough how being able to turn off that emotion and observe something without thinking of it as good or bad, this or that, without grasping onto the concept, just observing, being the watcher. When you are the watcher and when you just observe some of your behavior without coming down on yourself, which leads to that stress and anxiety, you can figure these things out. Emotion clouds our reason. Now, I know probably, I don't want to go overboard with that. I'm not talking about in all situations. I'm not telling people they should be a robot or that emotions are bad or being sensitive is bad or whatever. But there is reality. It's like I was telling my friend last night, we were joking around and I was like, this is a glass jar. I don't care what you want to spin in your head. This is a glass jar. So reality is reality. And when you can just, like I say, in some situations, especially when it comes to problem solving in life, when you can take that emotion out and just like look at it how it is, you can figure things out much better. And that's what I think, that's, like I say, I keep trying to, I'm not going to push, like tell everybody, oh, you got to go meditate. I don't want to be that person that's become rededicated and it's like telling everybody, oh, you got to do this, you got to do it. But so I just want to share some of these little lessons that I'm kind of taking away from my daily practice because I find them really simple, really just like little practical ways every day that you can look at things or that might help you change your process. Because that's what everything in life is about tweaking and getting a better process to do it. And like the process, when I talk about this, the meditation aspect about letting go and of just observing things without judgment, that can make such a big difference in your process. When you can just, like I say, not have the emotions, which I'm not real good at the sciencey stuff, but I'm sure I know there's chemical reactions, so I'm sure a lot of that anxiety, the stress, the emotions when you're having a problem with something or you're trying to figure something out, do something to our hormones, chemical reactions in the body that just kind of trigger things that make it even harder to think our way out of a situation or just to figure out what we need to do in any given situation with the food. So I would just say, use your whole like kind of little raw vegan journey, high carb vegan journey, and just look at it, like that. Look at it like you're meditating. You don't have to necessarily sit down. You don't have to sit down and do a formal meditation, but just look at it like you're meditating. And like as you see things happen, just kind of observe your behavior on this raw vegan lifestyle. If every day something happens around this time, be aware of that. If you fall off, I always talk about this, just evaluating if you make a mistake or if you fall off your plan, when you fall off or when you eat something that normally you would go to guilt. Immediately you're guilty for feeling it, and then that leads to other emotions. Just observe it. I ate so-and-so, I ate potato chips, or if you're eating fully raw, well, I ate this cooked or whatever, and just observe it. Think about it. Why did you eat that? What do you think triggered you to eat that? What was going on around you? Were there outside forces, circumstances? Was there something happening around you that triggered that? Was it something within you that triggered that? Is there something within you that you could do the next time to prevent that? How could you head off that situation? But when you think like that, listen, this does no good to sit around and go, oh my God, and talk the whole day or 2 days or 3 days and just let it keep going about harping on the mistake you made. That's like that's not observing without judgment. That's observing with judgment, and it's holding on and as far as letting go. And that does zero. Actually, okay, let's say you're trying to be high raw vegan, fully raw vegan, and you eat something today, even if it's not, really kind of bad, what good? And that kind of goes back to, was it the video I did 2 days ago? What good? What are you solving by sitting there hang-dogging, crying, telling everybody you did this, being all emotional, oh, I need to talk, I need blah, blah, blah. No, you've done it. You can't go back in time. You evaluate it and you move on. That's all you can really do. Anyhow, and the last little thing I wanted to talk about is, had that. You guys know, I don't even try to hide when I'm looking at notes. I always have, well, most of the time I have some notes down here. And also we'll talk about the process just a little bit more and then we're gonna finish off. Dig deep on this lifestyle. Like I say, this has been so good because I have like a sounding board, having another raw vegan here with me. We've been talking a lot. I throw these ideas out there and it's like we're talking about the process. And you have to be proactive. I talk about that all the time. Don't wait for other people. Dig deep on this lifestyle. Be proactive. Be your own guru. Become your own researcher. You have to be a researcher on this lifestyle, or either you're going to be like a pinball just getting bounced around all the time. You're going to hear what this educator or guru tells you, and it may or may not work a little bit. And when you're just relying on other people as sources of it, well, I mean, we're all relying on other people as sources of information, but you kind of know what I mean. You have to be proactive. You have to use those filters. You have to read lots of information. You have to hear lots of sometimes contradictory viewpoints. And you have to make these decisions on your own. You have to take the responsibility for this. I'm going to tell you right now, and you can go ahead and move on to the next thing, whatever kind of diet, lifestyle, or whatever it is. You're not going to be successful on this lifestyle if you think somebody else is going to get you there. If you think your favorite YouTuber, if you think your favorite group leader, or if you think somebody out there you found the one, they're going to get you there. You're wrong, you're mistaken, and you're probably going to have a lot of frustration. You have to do it. You have to do it. I don't know anybody out there. I'm trying to think, maybe there's the exception, but I can't think of anybody out there that I watch, I associate with, that I've heard about, that I've talked to, that is doing this thing because they religiously followed somebody else, or because they religiously just adhered to what one person had to say. All the people that I know that are really thriving out there, they have varied approaches. They have they watch lots of different people. In other words, I don't see them mimicking any one person. I don't look at them and say, oh yeah, that's a so-and-so devotee, or that's whatever. But yeah, you got to do this all on your own. If you're looking for somebody else to do it for you, go find something else to do. Or I hope you got lots of money, because then you could pay somebody. Then you could pay somebody to coach you and pay them like lots of money to coach you, and they could just hold your hand and basically maybe move in with you and like keep you on the straight and narrow all day long, be your little companion. But how realistic is that? So anyhow, got to do it all on your own. Hope didn't ramble between different topics too much today. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I hope you have a great weekend. Love you guys. Peace.